These boys are all fancy here with their custom Spec5 build boxes. Spec5.com. I like it. Howdy everybody, Steve here, KM9G. Meshtastic is taking the world by storm, and if you want some high quality Meshtastic stuff, Spec5 has got you covered. They sent in, I just dropped it. I didn't drop it. They sent in 2 of their units. We're gonna take a look at these 2 on the bench. Let's get over there. Oh, and if you're completely new to Meshtastic and have no idea what it is, number 1, it is a great way to send messages back and forth without the internet, without the cell carrier, without a ham radio license, just your phone and Bluetooth and a Meshtastic radio and a bunch of people in your area that are excited about Meshtastic. I've got a video about it right up top for you. This one here is the Spec5 Trekker Bravo, and it comes with an antenna, a carabiner to hook it onto your backpack, or a belt loop, or a zipper pull, or whatever strikes your fancy. Maybe even haul it up into a tree for better coverage. A belt clip to hook it onto your belt, or again, to slide it onto a backpack or something. It has a magnetically held back stand. Retained, that's the word I'm looking for. Retained, there's a little magnet there, and then there's another matching magnet in the stand, so it will stay closed until you manually open it, and then it will sit on your workbench. It's got the typical Meshtastic display that most of them have, and it's a lovely green color on the OLED. We'll put this one on the charger, and we'll take a look at this one here. This one here is the Spec5 Mini Trekker, and this one here has an internal antenna, I hope, because I don't see it externally and it didn't come in the bag, but we're going to take this one apart while the other one's charging, and then we'll swap this one over to the charger and take that one apart also. But these are really nice 3D printed cases, multicolor. Let's get our toolkit out, and those are Phillips head, and let's see about that internal antenna. Because these are 915 megahertz for use in the United States, I see no reason why there couldn't be an antenna in this. And obviously the internal oh, those are long screws. Those are very long screws. The internal antenna versus the external antenna. The external one is going to be bigger, more gain, better coverage, etc. But if you are in a nice population dense area, or if you're only trying to talk to somebody that is in your own group, then this would be just fine. Right? Off with the top cover. Lost a button. Lost 2 buttons. So you can tell they put some thought into it, because the buttons are not only a different color, but they are completely different pieces when it comes to 3D printing them. This is not your typical Heltec setup. This is a newer version of the Heltec, and it says LoRa GNSS tracker. This is your GPS module. There is that interesting green screen. Got your regular buttons. You have your typical Arduino GPIO pins. On the back side, there is that antenna that we were talking about, and this has got a nice little recess for it in the side of the case, and this antenna is made by Rack Wireless. And then we have a 3.7 volt 1.2 amp hour battery that fits nicely in that side of the case. Room for an external antenna, but they have the GPS antenna mounted right on the board there. Okay, I have figured it out. The 1262, the chip on the top, is the LoRa module, and the UC6580 is the GPS module. Okay, now that we got that other one taken apart and put back together, it is time to see what this one looks like inside, and we'll do the same thing. Nope, one smaller, I think. And these are actually bolts and nuts. All right, let's take a look at this one. There is that same, all right, I get it. They make these buttons in mass quantities. It is the same Heltec chip there, but possibly a different battery setup. Oh yeah, look at that. There we go. Fire hazard, not for vape install. And these are Samsung 18650 cells. Nice quality cell there. But otherwise, it is the same kind of construction. So this one here has much longer battery life. So let me get this one put back together. Let's see how well it picks it up on the screen. I do like the green color that's on there. The other ones that I have are more of a cyan. This green and this green match up pretty nicely. So that is the S5 Trekker Bravo. Unknown age, 1 hop away. And we are on long fast. And we picked up KG5 VBY mobile. It came with a bunch of messages in it already, which means that they have assembled it and tested it, which is very nice to see. And this is a really good looking case, and I like that you can see that they follow some kind of brand language. They have the same hook on the top, they're using the same clips, they have the same 5 font on both of them. Okay, perfect. I'm going to do some more charging on these, and then we will get them connected to the Meshtastic app. All right, I am pretty sure I have these things charged enough. I will be using the big boy with the 18650 battery, and that honestly is the reason why this case is as big as it is. With this phone, which I will be doing a screen recording on, and then I will be using the little guy with the little phone, this one, which I won't be doing a screen recording on because 4 different screens. So when we get a message on this one, I'll show it to you on the screen, and I'll show it to you on the screen, and then we'll be sharing this screen out. Let's get to it. Launching Meshtastic, and I need to, this is the Android version. just in case I didn't already say that. Down at the bottom corner, I hit the plus key, and it says Bluetooth disabled, so I need to enable that. And now I hit the plus key again, and we found a couple of them. On the screen, this thing somewhere will tell me what its name is. There it is. It tells me that it is 7B5C. You're never going to be able to read it because of how small it is, but it's in the upper corner on the screen when you go to the second to the last screen on the right. So this is the 75BC model. I clicked on that. It wants me to enter a PIN. They give you this card, and stop. I love technology. I wanted you to see the card that I put in front of my face. I didn't want you to keep moving. And they give you this card with a QR code on it that takes you to their user guide. You can actually scan this from your phone while you're watching this on your television. And there might be some way to do this on your phone while you're watching this on your phone. I don't know, but I am going to go look at this page and find out what that code is. Ah, there's a pin on the screen. 182742, and I'm sure that pin's going to change the next time we try to pair it. Okay, and now we are paired, and it's reading in the device config, module config, nodes, etc., etc., etc. Excellent. Your name, S5 Trekker Bravo. That works for me. That way I know which device this is. Okay, now we go back to the message screen, and there is long fast, and I'll be able to send a message as soon as we get this one here switched. Somebody went into the Play Store, enough people went into the Play Store on an Android phone and searched for, or a Chromebook, which is also Android, and searched for Meshtastic Android. Uh-oh, new node seen, rack 4x4. Somebody was just driving by, I guess, because I don't have a rack wireless 4x4 device here. Viewing full screen. Okay, that's fine. Welcome to Meshtastic. Let's get started. Setting up encryption. Okay, that's all that stuff. So this is going to be the exact same screen, just not in dark mode, and I'm going to hit the plus on the bottom corner. It's asking me to allow it to get the device's location, and this is a Bluetooth thing that then Android inherits, that then the Meshtastic app inherits. It's not anybody trying to get in on your privacy unless you want them to. Allow Meshtastic to access this device's location only while using the app, and then there are a couple of Bluetooth devices that I can pick. 3 of the 4 are lithium iron phosphate batteries with smart BMSs. The other one, the S5MT-B850, is going to be this one right here. So let's pick that one. And it wants to pair and connect. And it wants my PIN, and there is a PIN on the screen, which is 322456. Okay. And pairing complete, starting service, just like on the other phone. And then this one wants to be called the S5 Mini Trekker, which it is, so I will accept that. I'm going to hit home, I'm going to hit long fast, and I'm going to say, hello world, and hit send. And on this one here, I received the message. I don't know why I showed you that screen. You can see it in the screen recording. So I can say, hello Mini, and hit send. And then this one here received the hello Mini message down here. So what is the point of all of this? And I just saw another node, N5EJH, which sounds like a ham call from around here. I am just outside of Albuquerque, New Mexico, so I should be getting some signals somehow through this thing, even though I am on the outskirts of town with tiny antennas inside of a metal box. So back to my question, what is the point of all of this stuff? The point of this stuff really is because we can, and because it's cheap, and because it's fun to explore technology. Even deeper than that, this is a way to send messages back and forth without having to rely on any kind of infrastructure except for that which you and your community create. I'm not required to have a cell phone bill to do this. I am using cell phones. There's no reason why I couldn't load the Meshtastic app on my computer or use a Meshtastic device that has a built-in screen and keyboard. I do not need to use the internet, although I can relay messages through the internet. I do not need to use a cell phone provider because I am providing my own network infrastructure. This antenna here talks to the antenna that I showed you that's inside of this box. And that's all I need, is to have 2 of these boxes. And I've got 2 of them right here. This is it. And again, I'm just using this because it's got a bigger screen and a fancy keyboard. How is this different than ham radio? Well, as a ham radio user, you can use your ham radio license with these things and then use more power during transmit, but you can't use encryption. As a non-ham radio operator, you can use these devices with less power, and then you can use encryption, so you can keep your messages private. These devices both have GPS enabled inside of them, and they can send out your location if you care, so you can map out where users are on a map. It's a pretty neat thing to play with, and it is one step closer to ham radio, where you get to talk worldwide without any infrastructure other than that which you provide. Pretty cool stuff. I think these things are extremely well built, very rugged, and this one here could easily go into a pocket, although I would be worried about the buttons getting pressed. This one has a battery that'll probably last you a day. This one has a battery that will probably last you 3 to 4 days when you have them both fully charged. Spec5 has a ton of other devices available. Let's go take a look at those other devices. This little thing right here in the bottom corner popped up. If you put $300 worth of gear in your cart, you get free shipping. That's pretty cool. They have the Spec5 Trekker, and because this antenna comes out the side, I'm guessing it's based on the LilyGo T-Beam. They have a relay with a massive antenna up on top of a pole and a solar panel, and then there's a little box hiding behind the solar panel, and I bet that little box is the Meshtastic device inside there. They have the beacon. This is the LilyGo, I want to call this the T-Deck, inside of a nice 3D printed case with an antenna. This is a different T-Beam device. This is the Spec5 Trekker Utility versus the Spec5 Trekker, and it costs more. Why does it cost more? What's better about it? I see a screw mount on the side. Let's see. High performance LoRa radio built for users who demand extended functionality with an extended battery life of up to 16 hours of active use or 48 hours of standby. It's perfect for longer missions or adventures. Built-in environmental sensors. There you go. Real-time temperature, pressure, and humidity data helping users make informed decisions in the field. It also includes built-in speakers allowing for audible alerts. T-Beam plus Trekker enclosure kit. Interesting. And then the mini tray, the Meshtastic alerts are going crazy in the background. The mini Trekker that I showed you is $69.99, and the Trekker Bravo that I showed you is $119.99. And there's more pages of devices because there's actually some pretty cool things in here. This is the Copilot. I think this is the one I wanted to show you. This one here goes onto a drone. They've got one that goes on a dog. That's pretty cool. So you can track your pet. The Mesh Clip. Portable LoRa device designed for ultimate convenience and mobility. Its compact design includes a steel ring allowing it to be magnetically attached to the back of your phone. But it doesn't look like that does the charging. Ooh, this one looks really awesome. The Scepter. See, here I am getting all excited just going shopping like I forgot I'm in the middle of recording a video. This is actually a little mini phone. This is a little mini Android phone. This is awesome. And that's actually not a bad price, $144.99. I dare anything in the ham radio market to be $150. Have a built-in Android and a radio that you can do ham stuff with. And yes, Meshtastic is ham stuff if you want it to be. There's the Pulse Pack, $239. Includes 2 Spec5 pulses. Okay, so this is good for getting a quick start with you and your friends. And then this is the T-Deck again. Double the battery life. More battery. Advanced LoRa connectivity. More connectivity. Built-in keyboard, ready to use. Nothing else required. And this one here I think is the one that is for the, yeah. This is the one for your dog. Meshtastic for your dog. Communicate with Fido. But I could see like going out hunting with you and your dog and then knowing where your dog is if your dog gets away from you on the hunt. Or just seeing where your dog goes. Or your cat if you're a cat person. No offense. And there's still more pages of stuff. Oh, bundles. Okay, cool. Bundle, bundle, bundle. That's pretty cool. I need to know more about that Scepter. I think the Scepter is just a mini Android phone, and then it has the Meshtastic attached to the back. Yeah, that's exactly what that looks like. Nice 3D printed case to have a little mini Android put in. That's pretty cool. So the whole time that I was recording that video, the Meshtastic devices were going crazy. Like I said, I'm just outside of Albuquerque, New Mexico, which kind of gives me an advantage because there is a higher population density and people are playing with this stuff where there's a higher population density. So I'm going to go back to the main screen. There's a couple of icons at the top. The first one is just the messages, and you can see the last message that I sent myself was hello. And then there is this double people icon here. And these are all of the ones that I have heard. And you can see over here on the very far right-hand column of the screen, last heard now, last heard now. So this W7FED Trashtastic, his name is Trash, is W7FED, probably a ham. N5EJH bass, we just heard that one now. That also sound like a ham to me. Hallycat 9E38, Hallycat probably is the device name, 9E38. And well, no, they changed their icon to a cat, so maybe. But 93E8 is probably the last 4 of the MAC address of the device. 1 minute ago, YBHVF 2 minutes ago, W5EVO 7 minutes ago, PSY 06444 8 minutes ago, KG5VBY Mobile 15 minutes ago, Leech Seed is 19, PJRT 19. So we're seeing quite a bit of traffic. Half an hour, 45 minutes. Sends Roof, Cackling Jackal, S5 Ranger, probably another Spec5 device, probably a Ranger. S5RE is a relay, Trekker Bravo. That's me. Whole bunch of stuff. Okay, so that's the people that are in the area. And then we also have this folded piece of paper, which I think is supposed to symbolize a map. Let's click on that. Hey, it looks like a map. Let's find my area. And those 2 in Texas are probably when the Spec5 team was testing. And these 7 out here, suspiciously near Albuquerque are probably the ones that I have heard. So there you can see on a map who these people are and where they are physically located. And I am somewhere over here where Interstate 40 intersects with this yellow line right below it. So you kind of see that triangle that goes off to the west. And I am just right beyond that intersection of the yellow road and Interstate 40, which is the red road. So that's how far away I am from these nodes. A couple of other things to note. This is a 915 megahertz system. I am inside of an RV that's got aluminum siding on it. So this is fantastic signal propagation. I mean, literally, you saw the antennas. Literally, this is the rubber duck that we're getting out with on the phone that I'm showing you now. And then this one here is also doing really well. And this has just that little paper thin piece of antenna that's inside of this case that I showed you earlier when I took them apart. So the signal propagation on this is amazing. This is going out miles. The farthest contact that I see from where I am is either the R4x4 48 minutes ago or the trash 2 minutes ago, TRSH. Let me see if I can zoom in and get some mileage distance there, if I can get a road name or something. Yeah, there's a road name. Yucatan Drive Southwest. Stand by. That's actually southeast, sorry. By highway, that's 16 miles. That's fantastic. It'd take me a half an hour to drive there. I'm not going to drive there, but to give you an idea, that is about 16 miles, and that is not quite a straight line. I would probably say, I don't know, I'm gonna take a guess, 12 to 13 miles as the crow flies. I think I actually have the high ground here, but I'm not 100% sure because I ain't from the area. Okay, back to the application on the screen. There is the three, it looks like a signal to me. Ah, yes, that's how I can get people to connect to my long fast channel. And then there is a configuration screen, which we saw, which is where we added the Meshtastic devices. It popped into the configuration screen by default because I didn't have any devices added to this phone or the other phone. And then I can change the name from S5 Trekker Bravo over to, you know, my own name or my own fancy name. Well, there you go. That is all the Meshtastic stuff that Spec5 currently has on offer, and they are constantly making new stuff. They've got some really cool stuff coming out on the horizon. We just talked to them over on the Coffee and Ham Radio's live stream, and Daniel gave us some inside scoop type stuff. If you want to get your hands on some of this Spec5 gear, I've got you covered with a discount code in the description down below. Take a look down there and get yourself 5% off on any of this fine equipment that they have. This year, I am on a mission to get 100,000 subscribers. I get this really cool little silver play button plaque thing, and they keep changing them over the years. So hopefully we can get it before they make the change, because I want the one they have out now, not the one that they may change to. And I don't know. I might want the one they changed to too. Who knows? But if you could go down below this video, there is a subscribe button. Subscribing is free. Click it. It'll make me happy. And being happy is what ham radio is all about. No more grumpy old farts in this hobby. All happy people. I can wish, can I? In the meantime, there is a video right over here I think you might enjoy next. Thanks for being awesome. I'll see you over there.